Only a few months ago, Sarah Stock went viral on Jubilee, attaining about 6 million real views on Jubilee. And I'm here today to look into why exactly she's getting so many simps in her replies, how she got here in the first place. Is she an industry plant? Who is this Elijah Schaffer person that's micromanaging her career? And is she really a conservative? As you can see here, she has about 110,000 followers on Twitter. She's making a living off of this. She has a show on The Blaze with Elijah Schaffer. She also has about 40,000 followers on Instagram. And so what we're really asking here is, why do things like this exist? I mean, what the hell? Now, this was posted by somebody I have met before, okay? Now, this poor guy Arnie post Sarah Stock apology form, okay? So somebody took several minutes out of their day, I'll say that much, to glaze Sarah Stock. Now, let's see reasons for the behavior to fill out an apology form. It's Conservative Inc., so Conservative Incorporated, which is like, I don't know, and then tricked me into believing their lies. Like what? I was jealous of Sarah's aura. Again, how somebody could unironically say that is preposterous. But beside that, my sipping for a boy slash girl, Sarah Hater, convinced me. Okay, so you listened to somebody else and then you made an opinion. That's not okay. Okay, Cult of Sarah. Okay, I didn't listen to her actual videos slash reels. Why would you? Listening to women talk about politics, you can get a guy to explain it a lot better, usually. I don't know how politics work. Okay, well, then you're an idiot, right? Sarah said something mean and hurt my feelings. That's assuming she talks to you. A lot of the simps, thousands of them even, don't have that privilege, apparently. And then here it says, I will hereby trust the plan, stand with Sarah Stock, and will not doubt her intellectual analysis, which I think is kind of interesting because we're going to listen to her argue for 10 seconds, and you'll see that there's not a lot going on there.
Hi.
Sam.
So I actually think that this liberal world order needs to be thrown away completely, and I think Christian nationalism.
Notice the nose stud, by the way. Notice the nose thing. Wow. Again, why would somebody get one of those unless you're rebelling against your father, rebelling against, I don't know, people in general? Like, that is a very antisocial thing to do.
Would be a good alternative. What we're seeing right now is
And
just
congratulations.
yeah, and thank you.
Okay, this person, I don't know him, but this is who Sarah Stock has in her replies. It's kind of a layup for me, but I'm still scoring that 2 points because, frankly, come on. The average person, put it like in an AI, like get all the faces of people that are reply guys to Sarah, people that are going to make apology forms for people to fill out that hate on her. They look like this. It's crazy.
And yeah, I think what we're seeing right now is a culture.
No, notice his reaction. See, in his mind, it's pretty blonde girl agrees with my incel take. Oh, and mind you, I agree with the majority of what she says, I'm assuming, if she's a Trump supporter. However, I don't get off on girls agreeing with me politically because they just should. And so for a guy to even be within 10 feet of her is probably a privilege that he considers himself to be, lucky to be there. And again, this whole audience, the audience capture, this guy's twins, his cousins, they're all going to be watching Sarah Stock going forward because of that sort of mentality.
Of death. This is the most suicidal generation ever. We have millions of children dying by abortion. People aren't even reproducing. We don't even have like a.
Should we mandate
No, she's unmarried, and I think she's 22.
people reproduce?
No, I don't think we need to mandate. We can just stop them from killing their kids. There
So
are like.
you want to outlaw abortion?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, we have a fundamental disagreement on this, and my claim was.
Now, I don't agree with Sam Cedar. He's a D-bag. I really don't like him. However, her argumentation is very much just like what would please the men around me. And I know that sounds weird to color it that way, but most certainly the way she talks, there's a little bit of an airhead disposition, and she's not even a legit blonde to have that problem. Exhibit A. I've noticed people have been spamming our replies with a super embarrassing photo of me when I was younger and a teenager with dyed brunette hair. It's truly shocking and mortifying being exposed as someone who dyed their hair in high school. Okay, so she dyed her hair. Now, she's implying that she dyed it brown, even though they're already brown, or was already brown. Doesn't really make sense. And so, in my opinion, there's no need to lie about it. And what is convenient, however, is that when people call you the knockoff Lauren Southern, or otherwise will say that, hey, you're trying to appeal as like this Aryan like wifey person and to these incels, and they can't tell the difference. They don't discern that if your roots are brown that you're probably a natural brunette. And so when you're a boxed or a bottle blonde, it's a little embarrassing because she's obfuscating from that point. Now, this guy kind of torn into her a little bit, okay? This guy, Gifts Ungiven on Twitter says, "You're not a natural blonde. We can see your roots. It's okay to embrace your darker hair color. You still look very pretty." Now, I disagree with the latter. However, I will say that, yeah, you can see the roots. I mean, it's pretty damn obvious. I mean, a woman's equivalent of a bald spot, I suppose, are the brown roots, okay? Especially if you're desperate to be so blonde and Aryan or whatever. And honestly, it seems like she has some sort of a dysphoria. And what I find about her interesting, and by interesting I just mean morbidly curious about, is the way that she looks. Now, this might seem a little superficial, however, we'll see. Now, upon closer analysis, bring the screen closer to your eyes. If you're watching this on a TV, walk towards it, okay? Wait until you get into where you can see the pixels. Now, look at this. Now, the thing with her face, I'm not calling her ugly. However, she has a smile maybe or a way to carry herself where it seems like she's wearing somebody else's face. Now, this kind of gets with the other tangent I was doing about the hair, the dysphoria about wanting to look different. However, it looks like a demon killed someone and then is like wearing their body. The way, I don't know, like the skin, it's slightly off, the smile slightly off, the look in the eye, the deadness of them. There's something there going on. Crazy. Interesting little thing I picked up on, okay, folks? So, Wrong Think Anna, who's Anna Perez, I made a video about her like 2 years ago, and she commented like not too long ago on it for some reason. So, anyways, Anna Perez is over here doing this girl thing with Sarah Stock on Twitter, saying, "Okay, you need to do the light brown again," which is true. She looked good, right? You know, brown hair, nothing wrong with it. However, but being blonde gives me magical powers, says Sarah. Now, very dorky, sounds like something a 12-year-old girl would say. But aside from it, too, point out the fact, I will, that this insecurity, again, the magical powers of what? That you went famous on Jubilee because you were decent looking and you did something against Sam Cedar rhetorically, some would say. I mean, the insecurity is palpable, and maybe I'm the first person to point it out on video, but it's exactly the truth. Okay, now this is interesting. So, of course, this is titled 3 or 4 or Wifey. Let's get right at the jugular of the issue. Now, she's commenting on Caroline Levitt, who has a young child. I think she's in her mid-20s herself, and she's going to be critiquing her for the fact that she's neglecting her kids or something like that. Now, mind you, she is a few years younger than Caroline, has not a boyfriend, I think, has not a husband, obviously doesn't have kids. I'd hope so. And so, I mean, kind of ironic, but let's see.
It's undeniable that you're doing a fantastic job as White House press secretary, but I think you should quit. There's nothing conservative about leaving your baby at home while you work a highly intensive, important, time-consuming role. Going back to work when your baby is 4 days old is a form of neglect. Babies, especially newborns, need their mothers. And the conservative movement needs to stop pushing this rebranded
Why does she
version of
squint her eyes
feminist
like that, by the way?
ideology that says that women can do both. Because they can't. Being a mother, especially a mother to newborns, is a full-time job. Everything in life comes with sacrifices and trade-offs, especially being a parent. What America needs right now is more present mothers. We have enough girl bosses already. Please just go take care of your child. Caroline Levitt, it's
Okay, so is she
undeniable
calling
that you're
Caroline a girl boss? Would she stand by that in person? I severely doubt it. So what do you guys think about that? Comment down below as to what her take was. I vaguely agree, obviously. However, the irony is delicious. And when she's still childless by the time she's 26, like Caroline is, I suppose, we'll see how that irony kind of tastes. We'll see. This is just like a troll at this point, okay? So Sarah Stock, obviously, I already pointed out, she has this deep insecurity with blonde hair and the lack of her having it. All right, so this goes, and this is an article she wrote. Blonde lives matter. Cringe. Hot blondes are being persecuted and erased. Okay, yeah, very funny. People like to say that blondes have more fun, but we're not having fun anymore. We're exhausted. We, by the way. I mean, that's like if a transgender said, yeah, us women. It's like, no, you're not. Like, you can maybe pass as one, but it's not going to be the truth, okay? Scientifically, you're never going to be blonde, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not blonde. I could care less. And honestly, this insecurity is getting it's getting hilarious the more I think about it, because it's so obvious. It's like a closeted gay, but like a closeted brunette. It's interesting. She just literally posted this 20 minutes ago. Mass fit check. Everybody make sure to get to mass. Now, this gets to another point of the video where she has this performative Catholicism, and a lot of people in the right wing, young men, have this issue, and some of the women that are trying to appeal to the young men who foot the bill for everything. She's deriving a living out of young men that are incels. Okay, she's trying to, again, appeal to that, and I find it super annoying. I'm a Protestant, however, I don't perform and be like, oh my God, I went to... Yeah, did I go to church an hour ago? Yes. Does it matter, honestly. Like, do you care? No, this is not about that. And so when you're a political commentator, you're saying everybody go to mass. I find it cringe. It's palpably a fake thing to do. If it weren't popular to post what she's doing here, then she wouldn't be posting it now, would she? Even if it's a good thing. Okay, some more pick me post. She says, some conversion gifts from lovely, supportive people in my life. Heart emoji. I feel very equipped to be a Catholic now. So she has a daily missal. I don't even know what that is. Manual prayers, I think. The Catechism of the Council of Trent. Okay, once in chat, comment down below if you think she's actually going to read any of this. Like, come on, are you kidding me? Seriously. So she got gifted what, like 5, 6 books, and then you've got stickers, you've got like a lanyard. It looks like I know it's something else, but anyway, the point being is that you're getting like a gift basket basically of Catholic goodies for becoming a Catholic. Why? Why? It's super. It's fake, and everybody can see it. Okay, so I learned it was a scapular. Okay, do I care? No. I mean, this is the full image. Again, do you think she's actually going to read this? And if she does, okay, good for her. But if not, shame. All right, so less than a month ago, she posted this. This has got to be the gayest. Is it a pope? Rather, not a pope, but is it a deacon? What position in the church does this guy have? I don't know, but again, very effeminate. Catholics in 2025 be like, just kidding, but still. She's wearing this robe thing. Again, the caption goes, today I became a Catholic, baptized, confirmed, and received my first communion, all on the same Eastern Vigil night. Ave Christus Rex, cross emoji, VA. I'm so happy to be home. Super gay, super cringe, okay? Sorry, but come on. I'm back home, guys. I'm back home. Imagine if I said, oh, I became a Baptist. I'm coming back home. It's like, no, what? Doesn't make sense. And again, the guy next to her is like so happy to be there. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And like, again, green line check. His hunchback is Notre Dame level. Shout out the school. Also, roots very obvious right here. And her face is just like very disconcerting. She doesn't look comfortable to be there. It looks like she's being held at gunpoint. It's like an ISIS hostage video when you really think about it. I mean, you look at this face and it's rough. It's a little rough. Again, not that she's ugly, but more like she looks like if Lauren Southern had somebody sit on her face for 30 minutes. Okay? All right. Now, I don't know why, but Sarah Stock, for whatever reason, has been palling around with a guy named Kyle Langford, who's running for governor of California. Of course, he's like sixth place. He won't do too much. However, he's like a troll candidate, so to speak. Now, he takes himself seriously, but the troll is evident. Now, Sarah Stock is palling around with this guy. I don't know why. And let's see what sort of campaign advertisement they got going on. Again, she's Canadian, by the way.
Hey guys, vote Kyle Langford 2026.
Okay, bro. Now, he's posting this as if he looks cool, which I really don't know why. And you see the comments, there's two of them actually. Aura, which first of all, come on. And then no one is voting for you, bro, which is true. So, who do you guys think is going to win the governorship? Is it going to be Kamala Harris? Will it be Governor Langford? Also, pretty feminine music, right? That's like Lana Del Rey or something. Now, I show you the California governor thing, not because I think it's a serious problem, because who honestly cares anyway? But my question is she seriously thinking that this dork could reasonably have a shot at winning in California? Or not even that, but to win a primary? Or not even that, but to actually make waves and maybe have some positive impact for the right wing of California? No, of course not. And if she thinks so, then she's an idiot. So it's either you're like trolling this poor sap, or like, and then also this is a clip. Apparently he said this where he's in his 20s, right? He looks a lot older. He looks like Hank Hill. Okay, now he's running for governor on a platform that includes deporting all male undocumented immigrants and then giving all the females 1 year to marry a Californian incel to avoid deportation. Now that's a joke. That's a joke, right? And also, it's a big tell to be like, oh, we're going to force these Latinas to marry me. It's like, well, then, you're not pulling. Now, he did pull Sarah Stock for like 15 seconds to endorse him. Let's see how that runs. We'll see how that works. Now, here's another example of her intellectual depth, as pointed out in the apology form. Me trying to explain that I am a cross emoji, Vatican emoji, American flag emoji, heart between two opposite sex adults emoji, baby with a mother emoji, church emoji, baby emoji, conservative, not a money emoji. Okay, so then you're broke. Israeli flag, Ukraine flag, I don't know what the hell that is. Leaves, the globe, I don't know what the other thing is, a baby angel thing, and a gay flag conservative. Now, that stilted speech you just heard from me is exactly what she just put onto the internet. And what I gotta say is, dude, what the fuck is this? Okay, it's not funny, it's not cool, it's not high in depth. I mean, it's really just stupid. So she's just saying like, "Oh, I'm not a neocon. I'm not a gay conservative. I'm not pro-Israel conservative." You know, it's like, okay, well, first of all, nobody's looking to you for that, and the ones that are losers. Secondly, is this really a cogent point to make? I mean, it's just virtue signaling. That's her problem. She's hitting all, and she's ticking all the boxes, by the way, that gets people like Kyle Lankford, you know, like these 20-something-year-old incels, dorks that look up to women that repeat what they say. She's just trying to appeal to them. And what I find unfortunate is that there's too many people, mostly, like I said, incel young men, that don't even read the script for what it is. It's like they're doing the romantic ideation version of believing WWE to be real, okay? Which is just stupid. Past the age of like 8 or 9, you got to figure out the stuff's fake, and you got to figure out that women like this, e-girls, are just trying to sell themselves to you using the sexuality, and also shame on the guys, right? Shame on the incels. They're idiots, they're dorks, they're losers. However, I want their money going to men, not e-girls, okay? I mean, I think it's that simple. Here's some more red meat for the base. Again, just more fodder. She says marriage should be one bank account, no prenup, billion kids, no divorce for any reason. Now, this guy says one bank account means giving your wife all your money. And she says, yup. Okay. So brilliant stuff from her. Obviously, let me know if you guys agree with that. I definitely don't. I mean, the whole one bank account thing, you could argue. No prenup is stupid, honestly. Like, what's in it for the guy at that point? Third would be a billion kids. Again, you are 22, no boyfriend, no husband, no kids. Now, young enough to where it's not something you need to bring up unless you're me and you're being petty. But I will say that you should eventually get to it in the next few years unless you want to be a girl boss like the girl you lambasted in Caroline Levitt. Now, that's just so clear. I mean, come on. Also, no divorce for any reason. How did I overlook that? No divorce is so stupid because think I get what she's getting at, right? Like obviously people they grew too far apart. You know, the excuses nowadays for divorce, a lot of them are laughable. However, if a guy, like, okay, think about the marriage of the Mr. Beast employee, Ava Chris Tyson or whatever his name is. That guy went from like a normal white dude and then is a transgender now. Do you think the wife doesn't have the right to divorce him? And you could say, oh, well, in Catholicism, there's like an annulment of the man. It's like, dude, who fucking cares? Just say a divorce. Like, if your husband is now a woman, wouldn't you say that's good grounds? Huh? Like, come on, are you stupid? Divorce should be allowed, in my opinion, in some cases. Most of them are ridiculous. However, there's valid reason. This overcorrection on the right wing is something that arises from a lack of experience. Hence why the only person that would say that dumb shit are people that are not married, clearly. No, here's a close up of the face. She just made a stupid joke saying, "Guess who I voted for?" Like, okay, that's very funny. And then what I wanted you guys to look at was the face. What is up with the face? No, I'm not talking about the Dollisto eye bags going on over here. I'm just saying overall, everything. Like even this, the lips super thin, very strange, very strange. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Cthulhu. You just don't even know how to put words to it. But it's definitely, certainly weird. I mean, it's like an alien took over a body, like I said, and took it over. I mean, it's kind of like Gavin Newsom. You see how he looks, American Psycho. He's not completely there. Now, unbeknownst to me, while I was at CPAC, apparently Sarah Stock was also there. Now, apparently, she's been puppeted and been taken under the wing of Elijah Schaffer. Now, Elijah Schaffer, interesting fellow, got canceled, I think maybe 2 years ago, over groping a chick at some dinner. Whatever, I don't care. But my concern with him is that, well, people call him gay, okay, whatever. That happens. Okay, but Elijah Schaffer is somebody who runs in these circles with a lot of the far right people, and he intermingles with them, and he's been more or less ostracized from Conservative Inc., so called. And so I think they rebranded whatever Slightly Offensive was, which was his prior show, with that very annoying Australian chick, Sydney Watson. And they rebranded it to something else. He had a ton of scandals. And so for him to take her under the wing, he's a guy in his 30s, by the way, married with a family in Australia, something like that. So imagine flying to DC, that sucks. But anyway, he's somebody who, again, has his own ecosystem. And for him to kind of like groom her into like a celebrity or e-celebrity is an interesting thing that I think needs to be looked at. Now, I personally could not even care to see a whole episode of their show because I just don't care. However, I find it interesting. Now, Elijah says, we got invited to a CPAC Shabbat event. by Ari Pentinkin, who runs a Stop Anti-Semitism group. Sarah Stock and I politely declined, but appreciated the invitation and hospitality from our friends in Israel. Obviously, a very thin-layered joke, or veiled joke. Not funny. Nothing that Sarah has said is funny, and Elijah can be sometimes, but it's mostly laughing at him. However, again, Sarah, is this the best mentor to have, and is that your only option? Is that the only guy that doesn't want to fuck you? Well, actually, it's a given. Okay, maybe we'll add that to the body count for Sarah, but anyway, is he the only guy willing to take you up under his wing? And my question is, at that point, if you were so viral after the Jubilee thing, did you not have better options than Elijah Schaffer of all people to get some tutelage under? Could you not go into the Ben Shapiro sweatshop or something? And you could say, oh my God, it's because she's like really based and she wouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, I doubt it. Seriously. I mean, I was looking into her a little bit and she was like working for what? The Rebel Media, I think it was, which by the way is basically the Lawrence Southern playbook. However, Rebel Media is basically the Daily Wire of the North with much less clout. So where are we, where is the baseness? Where is it? And if you want to say, well, as of 6 months ago, as a Johnny come lately, as a Catholic as of less than 4 weeks ago, actually, well, very convenient, isn't it? This is just a little snippet of Elijah collabing kind of with, what's her name, with Sarah.
Other men? Well, according to the NIH, the government body, they say it is. About 12.7% of men who engage in sex with other men end up having leaky anuses. I don't know about you, but that's not a chance that I want to take.
But going, there's so many gay jokes to make here, but I mean, going to take, or rather, would you rather say, have taken in the past but don't want to do again? Now, I don't know. Is he bisexual? He certainly sounds like it. I'm not in a position to speak. Oh, wait, yes, I am. Because I'm just barely deep octave enough to make that joke. And I'll tell you what, that whole Elijah sidebar was exactly that. The real problem with Sarah, as I'll diagnose, she clearly isn't associating with the right people. She's not making good decisions in life. She's a hypocrite. She's deeply insecure. She's also trying to be somebody that she very clearly isn't. She's from Canada. That in and of itself is a deal breaker. And she's certainly somebody who has not lived up to what I think she's trying to portray image-wise. I really don't think so. Now, do I know her at all? No. But I will say that she is somebody without much intellectual depth, someone who is regurgitating what seems to be pleasant to the incels in her audience, and that's basically it. She's not special at all. I mean, this is really Dollisto Lawrence Southern. In fact, I think Lawrence Southern is hotter, but I'm a freak. But then also, secondly, I'll let you know that after she slept with Destiny, I don't want anything to do with her. But aside the point. 3, also, I think Lawrence Southern was smarter than her, too. And I made a video about Lauren like 2 years ago, and so you guys should know that my opinion is very resolute on this. I think Sarah Stock is somebody who's uncomfortable in her own skin. I mean, you could see the way she smiles. It's very off-putting. But what do you guys think? Do you think she is a grifter? Do you think she really believes what she says she believes? Do you think she's doing the right things in life? Do you guys find her to be a 3 or 4, which means hoe? Or wifey? Where do you guys lean? I'll tell you my verdict right now. I think she's certainly a 3 or 4, which is not a wifey. She's a hoe. I don't have any proof that she slept with anybody. However, Elijah Schaffer seems like a pretty safe guess. Not that I care. Meat watching is for weirdos. But I do believe that she's definitely not as prudish as she lets on. And she's very performative. I find it disconcerting. People don't like that sort of thing. And looks-wise, I think she's like a 6. Somebody, a friend of mine, might have called her Saggy Sarah. Hope it doesn't stick, by the way. That nickname would be brutal. Saggy Sarah Stock, SSS. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, well. So anyways, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want more content. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll reply to every single comment. And if Sarah's watching this, nothing personal. I don't know who you are, but I do a lot of these on people like you. So it is what it is. See y'all in the next one. Adios.